When I heard about today's story, I was super excited because not only do I eat a lot of olives and use a lot of olive oil, some people even accuse me of bathing in it. This farm is producing in a more economical and sustainable way. Let's go check it out. Just 30 kilometres north of Bunbury, there's a farm producing some of the very best extra virgin olive oil and infused olive oils in the country. Established in 2013, Sathya Oil Company is an award-winning company known for its creative and varietal olive oil blends. Keith and Tanuja Sanders own and run the farm. So Tanuja, what got you into olive farming down south in Bunbury?
Well, in 1999, we happened to buy the property here down south because we were working on an engineering project building a power station at Worsley Alumina. And by 2004, we had built this beautiful dream home on our property. And one of our very good friends who are Italians and in the locality, they came for the housewarming and they said, oh, it would be so beautiful to plant olive trees on either side of your driveway. That was it. So 2,500 trees is what we planted at that time.
Just a few.
2005
Just
and
a few.
And as trees, they grow and they make fruit, you know, and I didn't know what to do with the fruit. My first reaction when I tasted the olive fruit was spat it out. I said, what the hell am I going to do with them? You know, that was my reaction. So my Italian gardener, he showed me how to pickle olives and what to do with it. You know, I come from a background which Indian, and I sort of got me thinking, and I started making table olives. And one of my Italian friends, he said, bloody Indians, what do they know about olives? You know, and that got me going. And I said, I made these table olives by the name Indo-Italian style, just to tease him. And they happened to become, you know, the one started winning a lot of awards, and that's how I got into the olive industry.
So why olive oil?
You know, most people will say we eat to live, but in our case, we live to eat.
Yes.
You know, for
that.
us, food is so important. So how do I then not just compromise on taste, but also have nutrition? And that's olive oil to me. Extra virgin olive oil provides a great product to work with for cooking. And that's where all the chefs are showing all the cooking demos nowadays, and it's just the way it is.
Both Keith and Tanuja are engineers by profession, servicing power, water and mining industries, and knew very little about growing olive trees before they started growing. There was a steep learning curve figuring out how to grow olive trees in the sandy coastal soil, but they were able to figure it out with some trial and error. So Keith, tell me about this old school way of farming.
We plant 5 meters by 7 meters wide, 5 meters down the rows, and the rows are 7 meters apart. That allows us room for our shaker, harvesters to get onto the tree. But we're finding with the mechanical shaking harvester, where they grab the bottom of the tree and shake it, that it's damaging the trees, not only on the trunk of the tree, but also down in the roots.
Of course.
And after we have a shaker come in, I have to go through and try to wet down all the roots, because we're sitting in sand. It loosens up everything around it, gets air around the roots. And so you got to soak the water back down and let the roots reset. And we're finding that with using shaking machines that we're actually losing production.
So there must be a better way to do it.
Well, we think there is, so we've gone to super high density in our other orchard.
So maybe, can we go have a look at it?
Sure.
So it looks like the difference is that they're all a bit closer together. What's the go?
With a super high density, they're 1.2 meters apart, and we grow them in a hedge, and that also allows us to put an extra row in between where the old rows are. So the harvester runs over the top of the tree, and it has beater bars that will shake the leaves of the trees or the branches, drops the olives off into conveyor belts, and that takes it out into bins.
And that is sustainable farming because you're using less land, and obviously the water as well, it looks like a bit closer together.
We're actually using virtually the same amount of water to water this as we did for the previous orchard.
Yeah, wow, it's amazing.
Yeah.
The goal here is to create a sustainable product line that serves the gifts of nature. And Keith and Tanuja's dedication to this practice is admirable. The farm is ecologically friendly, completely run by electricity generated from a 22 kilowatt solar electric system. Sathya have won many awards, the latest being at the Australian International Olive Oil Awards for their garam masala and their peppercorn infused range. The extra virgin won 2019 West Australian Best Commercial Oil. Now, I couldn't leave without tasting some of this precious commodity. It's peppery and it's grassy and it's a beautiful West Australian product. Now, with all the imported olive oils that come onto the market with no regulation, you tend to gravitate towards them because they're cheaper on the shelf, but stick with this product. If you want to know more about this award-winning WA product and the infusion range, check out the company website, or you can get it at your local Farmer Jack's.